Hello everyone and welcome to Iowa. My name is Noah Walter and you're joining me live here for the Short Track Fanatic 105 here at Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa. Man, we are in for an exciting race here tonight. It will be a challenge for these drivers here on this racing circuit. 0.88 or 7/8 of a mile we have ahead of us here tonight for 120 laps. Stage lap is going to be on lap number 60, and we are going to be in for an intense race, as this will be our final race before we head into the Final Four next week at Las Vegas. So go ahead and tune on in so you can see what our final lineup is going to look like here tonight before we head on to crown our championship. So we'll head on in and see where everybody qualified. Starting on pole position after a fantastic qualifying run, it's going to be Rob Carl, one of our playoff drivers, hoping to get into the Final Four in the number 2 Chevrolet Camaro. Alongside, it's going to be the number 41 of Richard Drake in the Laker News Toyota Camry. Will be alongside with a very close time. And then in row number 2 on the inside lane, it is going to be Stephen Black in the number 98 Dark Horse this entire season since he's come in. Put on a fantastic show. On the outside, it's supposed to be Brian Fradian, but it looks like he is not going to be making the start of this race. Hopefully he'll be able to join in soon. Row number 3 inside lane is going to go to Matt Stewart in the number 28, subbing in for Paul Ems. Paul, I hope you're tuning in from, I believe it's Cuba, your driver said, so hope you're having a good time out there and enjoy the race. Alongside, it's going to be the number 34, Kyle Mundell. Row number 4 inside lane is going to go to the 55 of Jeffrey Belk, one of the drivers that is already locked in to the playoffs. On the outside, it is going to be Tyler Hallahan in the 88. Row number 5 inside lane is going to go to Brandon Fiedler, who's been feeling very confident about this track, and he will be bringing up 9th, with Ashton Reiki going to be alongside in the number 26. Row number 6 inside lane is going to go to Greg Snellgrove in the 22, with Mark LaPierre right alongside, a very close time between those guys. Finally, bring up the rear of your field, it's going to be Cody Snyder, Matt Malavagna, Michael Sparks, Will Cloud, and Wes Gallo. Will Cloud and Wes Gallo had some qualifying troubles, so they will not be listed on the grid. A very tricky track this is as we come out of turn number 4 here at Iowa. It's a D-shaped oval, as it's going to be Rob Carl taking away the green flag. Drake able to take away the position there on the first lap. Kyle Mundell currently running in 3rd. Kyle was knocked out of the playoffs very recently, and I'm sure is still a little bit upset about it. So he's going to be fighting hard to get himself out back into well, can't get back into the playoffs, but to lead the non-playoff drivers' points, as it's going to be a continuing close battle as we go out through tonight. Richard Drake and Rob Carl are both going to be fighting for positions heading into the final race. So these two are right now are both in a good spot, but a win would absolutely solidify. I believe it's Rob Carl who is not in the top 4. Brian Fradian is leading the points, but he is still not all the way here. You can see him all the way down in the back. I believe he had to start from pit road. Some connection issues from Wes Gallo currently making this a bit of a troubled race for him already. Not the most ideal thing to have, especially because he is one of the few drivers that, if he is here, will be able to come up and get into the final 4, but he has to win this race, but he needs to make sure his connection issues stay away, and he's going to be able to race in. Okay, field here tonight at Iowa. 17 cars going to be out on track. Richard Drake going to be trying to dominate as much as he possibly can. Your 2 cars are, I mean, even Kyle Mundell up there as well, though. These guys up here are your short track guys. I mean, you can even call them the short track fanatics. I know, stupid joke. But regardless, I mean, these are the top guys to constantly be watching. They are the ones that on every short track you always see them at the front, making sure that this race is going to be interesting. We think back to New Hampshire, that interesting of a race. We got to see Rob Carl almost win it, but threw it away on the final few laps. So I think he's going to be looking for some short track redemption here. Phoenix, another race. We saw Richard Drake win that race. So this is going to be a very good one to watch between these guys. Brandon Fiedler, another driver that's been pretty confident going into this race. I know he has done miles of testing, and I don't mean that just in terms of how long he's been driving, as he's been doing it for a long time. But short tracks also have been pretty good to Brandon so far, but he is going to be hunting for a win, even if he is still going to be very close to getting into the final 4 regardless. Ahead of him is his teammate Jeffrey Belk in the number 55, already locked in. Speaking of locked in, these guys are already locked in for their not just playoff, but their team championship for Equipment Geek Racing. They have secured the team championship, and they're going to be running some gold stuff, I already know, going forward. More than just the wheels, I should say, if I've been informed correctly. You see Brandon taking over that 6th place position as they hunt down Matt Stewart in the 28. Weird to see him in the 28 for Paul Ems there, running Paul's exact paint. It's good to see that regardless, though. Once again, hope all has been well, Paul, and you're having a good time. Battle for the lead between Drake and Carl beginning to heat up just that little bit. We saw Carl take away the lead for a moment, but it was Drake able to re-secure it there for the lap. These two going to be battling all night, I just have a feeling, and that's good news for people like Kyle Mundell and Stephen Black, who are going to be hunting for wins even this late in the season. Kyle Mundell has gone winless here in his time in the CASCAR Shredder Plumbing Cup Series and before last season as well. He is going to be trying his absolute hardest to get there, and honestly, I think he can do it. Just at some point, eventually, Kyle Mundell, he's a very skilled driver. It's all just going to come down to some time and some luck. Down to the inside, it's going to be Rob Carl trying to take away the lead from Drake. Still close. Drake just has an absolute great run off of each of these turns. The way he's able to pull away, very impressive. Like I said, short track guys, they are very impressive. Stephen Black making sure that nobody is getting away from him that easily, though. He's been a dominant driver before. He won last season, but has only been able to race part-time this season. Going to be creating for some interesting events next season, as he should hopefully have a bit more time to race in. He goes down to the bottom, hoping to get around Kyle Mundell, but I don't know if that's going to work out in his favor as much as I think it does, and it looks like it will. Mundell out to the outside, going to be dropping like a rock after that one. Ooh, skimming the wall, too, as it's going to be Brandon Fiedler taking away 4th after that one. Other drivers hoping to get in is going to be Greg Snowgrove and Tyler Hallahan, currently sitting 8th and 9th, these two teammates. Tyler has been out sick, not with racing, but over the past time during our break, and hopefully he'll be able to put on a continuously good show for us. We know he's been able to do it before, and Tyler, I hope you continue to feel better. He's got his teammate Greg Snowgrove trying to chase him down. Greg said the last time he ever ran this track was when the Gen 6 was first released here on iRacing, which is a long time ago. The NASCAR Cup Series does not run here at Iowa. The Xfinity did for a while. This has been actually an IndyCar track for its majority, and then a just local short track. Also known as the fastest short track on the planet, Iowa Speedway, located in Newton, Iowa, has a capacity of 30,000 seats, has been racing since 2007. Each of these turns, you can see the progressive banking between 12 and 14 degrees. So definitely some banking, but not a whole ton. Now, as we're seeing Stephen Black dive down to the bottom once again, I think that bottom lane is beginning to really work for him as they're almost 3 wide. Almost. They're out of turn number 4. Mundell very close to the wall. Black clutching onto that bottom lane. Fiedler ahead for now, but it will be a continuous battle there, especially as that shorter line is the faster one for now until your tires begin to give out. Look at the run, though, down the backstretch. That outside lane has the advantage, but it won't be forever. It's going to be a continuously short race here at Iowa for these guys. That's giving a chance for Richard Drake, though, to begin to run away as Rob Carl has not been able to close in, I believe, as much as he would like. See Jeffrey Belk there running in 7th, going down on the bottom of Matt Stewart to take away 6th position. Black still has the lead going into turn number 3. The cars there all keeping together. Head back a little bit further in our pack. We're going to take a look and see Wes Gallo currently heading up this few cars here. This is a short track, and I know some of these guys, this is not their cup of tea as we have a continued. These guys are still battling for 3rd there. Stephen Black takes it away there from Fiedler. He's going to throw a block, forcing him up both to the high side. This is a chance for Mundell. You can see him going down straight to the paint. Can he run it and get the position? He cannot. Black, though, with a lot of speed, now looking to the bottom of Carl. Can he take away the bottom from him now and get the position? It's going to be close. He has it for now. Can he clear him? Not yet. Oh, he's clear now, and that position is definitely going to go to Black unless they get a real good run there off the exit of 4. But it looks like they're not going to get the one they want, and it's going to be Stephen Black now up to 2nd position. Great moves in these last few laps, able to secure himself into 2nd position. Rob Carl going to be holding up Brandon Fiedler the best he can. I mean, these guys are both fighting for playoff positions. They're very close in terms of their points. It's going to be a close one. Currently, your point leader is Brian Fradienne, who's currently sitting in 14th. This will not be a good race for him. It's going to be a close one. He's got to get those points up if he wants to make sure he can stay locked in. Jeffrey Belk locked in due to his race win previously. He's a win and you're in scenario. Drake now extending his lead to over half a second. Oh, around! Caution flies here at Iowa at the short track Fanatic 105. Going to be staying there in the center of the track. Doesn't want to make sure everyone can get around him first before coming down off the racing surface. We'll be right back and see just what happened here at Iowa. Like I said, this is going to be a close race for a lot of drivers. We come in now. You get to see this here. It looks like Rob's trying to come down, block that bottom lane. Fiedler just stays there. Still staying in his lane, but they just collide and sends Rob around. I'm going to rewind and watch that again real fast there. You can see it, just how close it was. Right there into the quarter panel. Sends him around. I think a hair net code played a bit of a role in that too. That is going to be sending him a lot further down the line than I believe he wants. However, due to our rules, I believe Brandon Fiedler is going to be sent down pretty far as well, which will not be helping his situation. All right, we rejoin back in under pit stops. Kyle Mundell chooses to stay out as of now. He's going to be leading this race. Matt Stewart is going to be behind as all your leaders have decided to pit in. Honestly, it's a decision I fully understand as your tires are known to disappear here. You can see at those pit times, some of these guys are going to be taking a bit more of just fuel and trying to go. You can make it to the end on fuel alone. No pit stop was required, at least to the end of the stage. However, it was a close one, so that is why many of them have chosen to go in instead, rather than try to tempt fate. With that, though, let's go and give a short interview to Kyle Mundell and see how he is doing here tonight. Kyle, still with you, read me.
Hey, Noah, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well, but you must be doing pretty well yourself. I mean, you've been able to run up front so far here tonight.
Yeah, it's been a good start. Kind of got spooked with Steven beside me, and then I fell back.
Makes a lot of sense to me. I know you don't have a lot to lose right now, as you've been able to, be out of the playoffs for a while now. But now that you're finally back in the car once again after our break, and we're here at short track, and I mean, your short track record has been pretty good so far.
Yeah, I feel like Iowa is very similar to Richmond, and I feel like I was on the pace at Richmond, so hopefully it can translate here. We'll see how this goes with worn tires. I don't know how many people pit behind me, but like you said, kind of with really nothing to go, might as well try and pull a Brady Floyd here and save some tire sense.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Well, thank you for your time, Kyle. I certainly do appreciate it. Who do you have to thank for your car here tonight?
Thank November and iRacing, and then Week Designs for the livery, Sharon, Waterloo Brewing, and of course yourself for broadcasting.
All right. Good luck, Kyle, and we hope to see you soon.
Cheers. Thank you.
Number 34, Kyle Mundell in the Movember Chevrolet, going to be leading us to the green flag as we're here under yellow at Iowa. Rob Carl and Brandon Fiedler involved in the yellow. Both of them sent to the rear. Stephen Black under pit has also been sent to the rear. All cars with worn tires going to be up front. And with that, the Iverson.com pace car pulls down pit lane. The track, eerily similar to Richmond. It's almost like that was the intended design. And it's going to be Kyle Mundell taking away the green flag. Great start there out of Mundell, and an interesting start there out of Wes Gallo. 4 wide for a second there in the back under the start. Great start for Jeffrey Belk. Still 3 wide action. We're seeing Michael Sparks on the outs. Oh, and around Tyler Hallahan. Down the backstretch, the caution flies. Hallahan and Gallo involved on that one, so we'll be right back, and hopefully we won't have another stunted start. What a start, though, out of Jeffrey Belk. We'll be right back. All right, we got your caution here. Let's go and bring that out. We're watching Tyler Hallahan there in the orange BTT. Holding his line. Looks like Wes Gallo starts sliding up the track. The exit of 4 and just gets both of them sent around. Well, Hallahan sent around. Looks like everybody else was able to escape that fairly well. Impressive in my mind. Unfortunate just how far it sent him back, though. It's going to be a lot of ground to make up soon. And I guess this is a chance where if you feel like you needed tires, this is the chance to take them now. Well, with that, that is going to be putting Matt Stewart into the lead off of the start. It looks like he had an advantage over Kyle Mundell when the yellow flew. So that is going to be a position for him. Some free laps led, if you will. We'll get your position so you can see where everybody is at under yellow. We'll be going again shortly. Got to thank Paul Ems for giving us this race here tonight for the Short Track Fanatic 105. Can't really elaborate more on that, as that's just the name for the race, not a company that sponsored us. So if you want to bring some sponsorship over to CASCAR, you can reach out, and you can find out more contact information on the website. That is www.cascar.net. Of course, got to give a thank you to our primary sponsor of the playoffs and the Cup Series in general, Schroeder Plumbing. They have been our business partner now for the entire season, and we're heading into the final race brought to you by them, and that has been a great pleasure working with Shorter Plumbing. So if you want to make sure you show your support for CASCAR and for a fantastic company that has been serving a region locally for 50 years, you can check out Shorter Plumbing today. And that number you can reach them at, just give me a second, is 262-971-0401. That number, once again, is 262-971-0401. Shorter Plumbing. Want to find out where to get fantastic overlay packages like the one I use? You can check out Pierce Graphics. A link will be available through my website as well. That is fourcloakmedia. Nope, just fourcloak.net. Man, I don't even know my own website at this rate. It's been a long season, I'll just put it that way. Stewart opts for the high line. Mundell is going to be on the bottom. It's going to be Jeffrey Belk bringing up the second row. We saw at the start that Wes Gallo had originally pushing Mundell, but that did not work out in the favor that I believe either of them wanted it to, as Jeffrey Belk was able to get a huge advantage off the start. I mean, he absolutely flew. So I think he's going to be hoping for another move like that again. Starts are a big part, especially at these short tracks where position really does matter. Brian Fredien finally back up into a competitive spot. You can see with the Sargento cheese, number 81. Love his paint schemes that he runs. You want to get more paint schemes like that? Weeg Designs has those. So does Skylord Graphics and a few others. Iverson.com Pacecar pulls down pit lane, and it's going to be Matt Stewart taking away the green flag. Looks like everybody got a pretty decent start back there. Still 3 wide in the rear. I mean, these guys are absolutely going for it. I know that some of these guys have a lot on the line right now. It's very interesting to see, though. Callahan able to get a good exit there off of 2. As we hop back front a little bit, we're seeing a battle start to form up between your top 3, and now a battle for 4th as well. Who is that? That's Michael Sparks, currently running in 8th position. He's got a decent car with him right now as he rolls down on the bottom, holding up the 2 car. Can he continue to fight forward? Will this be Michael Sparks' first race to really shine here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series? Look at that late braking. He has got this under control as of now, it looks like. Hopefully continue to fight forward now as off the exit of 2. Whoa, Jeffrey Belk very loose there off of 2. Out of 4. My apologies. Rides down to the bottom. Oh, collision there. No yellow flies. 3 wide for a second there. Stephen Black's got the bottom. Several drivers involved, but that's going to be a tricky one now as it's a battle for the lead between Stu. Oh, yellow flies. Who's involved in that one? All right, with that, we'll be right back, and we'll see what happened. Sorry, folks, I don't really have a incident for you there. Not entirely sure why the yellow was thrown. I guess we'll just say it was a debris caution after the collision between Sparks and a few other drivers we saw there off into turn number 1. But this has allowed Jeffrey Belk to take away the lead now. He's going to be your lead driver, starting on the front with Matt Stewart and Kyle Mundell behind. This is going to be developing into a tight race before we get to the stage. For a great event here tonight. I said we would have it. Wasn't lying. Some great racing to be formed here at Iowa Speedway. It's a short track. I mean, 7/8 of a mile, as it says, it is the fastest short track on the planet. You can definitely move at some insane speeds here. And some great racing comes along with it. I know Richard Drake and Michael Sparks got the worst of that incident, so they're going to be headed down pit road. Do some damage repair. Well, if you have a driver you want me to bring up, let me know. Yeah, I see that, Sparks, I know. Still, not entirely sure what brought out the yellows. You guys were still going straight, but hey, whatever. Iowa is known for a few different things. Of course, you got to think of Ore-Ida potatoes. Also got to think, of course, of corn. Fortunately, nobody really out here with any corn-inspired paints or anything, so that would be pretty good to see. But I think the closest we do have, though, is Brian Fradian showing his Wisconsin pride with the Sargento Cheese 81. As far as I know, cheese and dairy is not a big thing in Iowa. But hey, I've been wrong before. I'll accept it. But not as much as it is known in Wisconsin. We were at Wisconsin earlier this season at Road America. Pretty decent race we got there. But speaking of Wisconsin and the race winner at Road America, 55 of Jeffrey Belk. He's going to be leading us to the green flag here. And I hope everybody is excited to see where this is going to go before we hit the stage. 2 cautions have flown. So we get to 3 before the yellow for the stage. Belk has got his teammate of Fiedler behind, running up in 3rd. Fradian in 6th. So Quimby racing pretty far up the track. I think that's exactly what they want heading into this final event. Now, as the Iverson.com pace car pulls down to head down pit lane, got 17 cars coming now to the green flag. There it goes. Green flag flies here at Iowa. Great start out of Jeffrey Belk. You can see the gap he's able to form initially. Let's see if he's going to be able to run with it anymore. He's got a little bit more time there as Matt Stewart files in 2nd. Comes in close behind. You can see him trying to close in. The best visibility now as they do their heavy braking into 3. Now through 4, they're going to ride. Out of 4 they go, and it's going to be Brandon Fiedler gunning for 2nd position. He's got it through the outside lane pass. Brandon Fiedler takes away 2nd position as Greg Snellgrove dives down to the bottom to get around the 28. You can see that speed difference right there is absolutely incredible. Matt Stewart just doesn't have it, and neither does Jeffrey Belk against Brandon Fiedler, though, as Brandon Fiedler takes away the lead here at Iowa. Greg Snellgrove hoping to get in. I believe he is the either last or... Nope, not last. He's the 2nd to last driver, if I remember correctly. In your 8 drivers fighting for the final 4. I should say really 7, as Jeffrey Belk is already locked in. So if he can get a win here tonight, that is an almost guaranteed spot in for Jeffrey Belk. Not Jeffrey, but jeez. For Greg Snellgrove, who has had a very rough season. And his last season did not go the way he wanted either. So he's trying to get a little bit of redemption. He was able to win the Season 1 championship here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series. Let's see if he's going to be able to do it again and get himself up to the Final 4. Currently that's going to... Oh, collision! Ashton Reekie around, spinning through the front stretch. Caution flies. That's a collision with Brian Fradian. 81 heavy damage for the 81 Sargento Cheese Toyota Camry. We'll be right back to see how that began to form. Alright, we have your incident here. We're going now into turn number 3. See Fradian diving down to the bottom, trying to get around the 26. Going to be throwing a block on the 41 of Richard Drake there. Remember, Richard Drake was able to lead this race from early on, but he's been having a bit of troubles getting back through the field. So it looks like he just doesn't have the pace to keep it on the bottom entirely. He begins to slide up. Oh, netcode into the 26, sending him. Gonna send him sideways. He almost catches it. But overcorrects, starts heading towards the wall. Fradian already at the wall. Gets into him. We'll rewind and see a little bit more of that. See how close it was. You can see how long they've been fighting as well. The entire down the backstretch. I mean, he had the speed there out of the turn, but you can see that late dive there out of Freddie and just wasn't enough as they head through turn number 3. And that slide up, a bit of moving down there, not too much though. Adariki sends him around. Unfortunate for these guys. Ooh, especially unfortunate for Ty Hallahan. I didn't see that the first time around. Also involved. We're going to have to take some repairs on that one. Unfortunate. That's what I have to say about that. Coming back up to real time now. It's going to be Brandon Fiedler going to be starting here at Iowa. Going to be taking the lead. And I believe we've been able to see that outside lane really be the starting spot to be in. Anything else just really isn't the spot you want to start from. As I said before, if you have somebody you want me to interview, please let me know and I can grab them for you. And in the meantime, before we get that, let's go and grab up Greg Snowgrove, see what he has to say about tonight's race. Greg, Snow up in the booth. Do you read me?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, but you got yourself a very interesting race forming up ahead of you right now.
Yeah, it's been really wild. I'm surprised I'm at where I'm at right now.
I mean, how is your confidence with this track? I know earlier before the race started, you said that you'd only driven this track once.
No, it's not very good. I'm not liking it that much. I'm just kind of learning from the guys that are faster than me.
Well, in terms of that being your strategy, you're doing real well as you've been able to stick in 3, but also able to be pretty competitive so far. And we're going to have to see how that continues to develop as you got an interesting race heading towards the finish, trying to get into the Final 4.
I got to get a good finish here. I'm hoping just to get this third place stage points. And then we'll see what happens at the end of that.
All right. Well, Greg, thank you much for your time. Who do you have to thank for your race car here tonight?
I'm going to thank Paul Ems for not being here and being a pain in my butt tonight.
Good luck, Greg.
Thanks, buddy.
Number 22, Greg Snowgrove. All right, Steven, I see your request. Next caution we get, which I believe will be stage, unless we get another one, I will grab Ashton. Starting from the bottom, it's going to be Brandon Fiedler. He chooses the bottom lane. Interesting start. Everybody else has chosen the top, and it's succeeded a bit more, so we're going to have to see how that does here tonight. He's got the Miles Morales Spider-Man, number 39 for Schroeder Plumbing. Love the Spider-Man paints, he always has. Well, the Iverson.com pace car is rolling down in pit lane, as it's going to be Brandon Fiedler taking the green flag. Wait for it. So late here on iRacing now. Good start out of Jeffrey Belk there on the high side will be the bottom where you want to be. Bit of right rear damage there for Fiedler. Ooh, big loose moment there out of the 22. He's going to be throwing a block on the 28. Matt Stewart now out of turn number 4. They all go. Jeffrey Belk has the lead once again. Fiedler stuck on the bottom. It's going to be Rob Carl taking away second position in the 2. Finally able to get himself back up to the front of this race. He knows how to do some short track racing, as does Stephen Black, also beginning to come through the field. And who's that behind Stephen? It's going to be Richard Drake in the 41. Drake dives all the way down onto Stephen there off the exit of 4. Doesn't get the run that he wants, though, as Stephen Black continues to hold on for 5th position. 11 to go to the stage now as we are watching Jeffrey Bell continue to lead. He's got Rob Carl behind him. Single file train now heading into turn number 3. These short stretches are very short here at Iowa. I mean, especially with the speeds these guys are able to carry. Very impressive how they're able to just brake perfectly on time for these stock cars. Ooh, slide up the track there from the 39. He's going to be throwing a block afterwards. It does look like that's a lot of speed differential there for the 2. Is now the 22 of Snellgrove. Dives down to the bottom, taking away 3rd once again. Rob Carl beginning to fall just that little bit. Snellgrove's got pretty good control over his car right now, sitting in 3rd position now as Stephen Black begins to go on the bottom, trying to take even 4th away now from Carl. Rob is going to be hanging on for dear life right now when it comes to the positions in the Final Four. As Brandon Fiedler is also trying to get himself into the Final Four. It's a close battle between a lot of these guys out here. Jeffrey Belk doesn't have anything to lose. He's already in. He didn't even have to show up to this race, but he still chose to anyway, as he stays down on the bottom, beginning to close up to the 39 ahead. Throws a block now onto the 22. I think Jeff knows that's a risky move to take, especially after Darlington last season. That was a interesting race, I'll put it that way, when it came to the final lap between those guys. Down to the bottom, it's going to be Snellgrove. Can he take away the position from Belk? But he can't, not yet. A lot of closing in now. Carl beginning to get back into the fray for 3rd as Fiedler tries his best to continue running away. Into the wall, skim just a hair of it there for the 2. That's going to be sending him to almost the rear of this pack, but they're still hanging on for now. Belk with the position off of 2. I don't think any of them want to make it easy on each other. I'll put it that way. It looks like Steven's having a bit of connection issues as well. Richard Drake able to fight back up into 4th position. He's got to close in ahead now. How long will it take? Let's go and take a look at our battle forecast right now. 73 laps. That is not time that Richard Drake has to get around Greg Snellgrove. But let's see what it has to say for Stephen Black against Richard Drake in that same time. Similar pace. There it is, of course. I mean, we know that these guys have a lot of pace when it comes to each other, and that just shows how close it can be. Carl looks like he's struggling with some wheel spin there off of the turn. All right, Drake's been closing in ever closer to Snellgrove ahead. Our forecast said it would take 72 laps by now, but like I said, he just doesn't have that time. I don't think that he's going to be able to get ahead of the 22 in time for the yellow. Fiedler, though, does have the lead. It's going to take some big moves out of Belk or Snellgrove to get that position away from him. A lot of pace and a lot of time built up into that 39. He has been hunting for a win here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. Schroeder on the car. He has got a lot of things left to do. Can Brandon Fiedler create the first step and get a stage win here at Iowa? On to turn number 4 we go. Here it is, the final lap here in the stage. All right, Belk is, he's got enough of a gap behind. It's going to take a lot of bold moves to get there. Now the race is on for 3rd. Can Greg Snellgrove hold on to 3rd position ahead of Stephen Black and Richard Drake here at a short track? It's going to be a close one, but I think he will. Off at turn number 4, it's Fiedler taking away the stage. Snellgrove hangs on for 3rd. Drake takes 4th, and Stephen Black takes 5th for the stage. I don't think stage points apply to your playoff drivers, but that means just Stephen Black gets some stage point. And if this is going to be your final 4 heading into next week at Las Vegas, Fiedler, Belk, Snellgrove, and Drake, I think we're going to be in for a great show. But we're only halfway through this race here tonight. In the meantime, let's go and click up Ashton Reiki real quick. See what he has to say tonight. I am certainly curious. I think we've interviewed. I think we only have interviewed Ashton once before. So let's go and bring him up and see what he has to say. Ashton, still in the booth. Do you read me?
Yep.
How's your race been so far today?
Oh, it's been pretty good. I got some damage, but the car still feels pretty quick there. I was on the outside of Wes, and he's not happy with me.
Ah, I see. Well, you're running a Quaker State scheme today, something we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, so it's a throwback to actually, I have a dirt background, so Steve Kinzer actually ran this, and I believe it was 92. I just thought I'd change it up.
Makes a lot of sense to me. But hey, honoring your heroes out there, it's always great to see. And you've definitely been having an interesting race here tonight. What do you think you're going to finish in tonight?
I'd love a top 10. Like I said, I think I've got the car for it. I just got to get some optional repair done here and hopefully get back out there and stay out of trouble.
All right. Well, thank you much for your time, Ashton. I certainly do appreciate it. Who do you have to thank for your car here tonight?
I've got to thank Wingnut Productions, and mostly, I mean, my wife for letting me do this every Sunday again. And I got to thank my teammates out there, Michael Sparks, especially, and Daniel Sparks. We've come a long way since the start of the season.
All right. Thank you much for your time once again, Ashton, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Ashton Reiki taking some optional damage there, as you can see. All right, let's go and grab your stage winner, Brandon Fiedler. Looks like Jeffrey Belk's going to be taking the front off this one, but let's see what we get out of Brandon. Brandon, over the booth. Do you read me?
Yeah, what's up, Noah?
Congratulations on the stage win. How does it feel?
Feels good. Now that's one part down. I got a little bit more work to do to get back into the next round, but happy I can get max points coming in through stage 1.
Makes a lot of sense to me. An intense fight you've been able to have with all of the drivers up front so far, especially Jeff. I mean, you guys have been side by side for a lot of time and constantly trading back in position.
Yeah, thanks. I'd like to thank Jeff there. He was holding up Greg and Drake and them, so that helped me just focus on hitting my lines and getting to the stage first there. So big shout out to Jeff there.
All right. Makes a lot of sense to me. What's going to be your strategy going forward for the rest of this race?
That's try and save tires as best as I can, but while still being fast. I think I have a strategy for that, but we'll just see how it plays out.
All right. Makes a lot of sense to me. Well, Brandon, thank you much for your time. Who do you have to thank for your car here tonight?
I'd like to thank 921 Mobile DJ, Schrader Plumbing. I'd like to thank all my family for watching. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I can bring this thing home in victory today.
All right. Once again, thank you for your time, Brandon, and good luck here tonight.
Thank you.
To the high side, it is going to be Jeffrey Belk. He's going to be leading this next green flag, and it's going to be Brandon Fiedler, your stage winner, in second. On the bottom, once again. Thank you, everybody that has tuned in so far. I know I appreciate it, and as Brandon said, so does he. Everybody out here is greatly appreciative of all the broadcast attention they're able to get here on twitch.tv/4cloak. And with that, the Iverson.com pace car heads down pit lane as it's going to be Jeffrey Belk taking away the green flag. Good start out of Belk, but an even better one there out of the 22 of Snellgrove. He's going to stay down to the bottom. Can he get around 3 wide already? Wes Gallo currently struggling for some pace there down the backstretch. Going to break a little bit early for that one. Doesn't want to get too involved, and that's creating a huge gap there for Belk to start trying to run away. Ooh, close slide up there for Carl ahead of Mundell. Very risky move he took there, and it currently paid off as of now. He's been able to throw a good block on him. It's going to be close. Whoa! Bit of a tire smoke we saw there on Snellgrove now as he's beginning to fall all the way back from 3rd down to 7th. Puts Richard Drake now up into 3rd as Carl tries to put the pressure onto the 98. Can he get around? It looks like he did take a fast repair. I mean the 2 of Carl with that one. That is going to be a risky strat to take, though. He's getting involved in an accident here. The short track is not an uncommon thing to have happen. Down to the bottom, it's going to be a close one. Ooh, still close. As currently Fiedler begins to try to chase down his teammate for the lead. Richard Drake currently sitting in 3rd. He's got a bit of a gap between himself, well, the leaders and the car behind of Stephen Black. Big gap, actually. Almost a second. Stephen Black going to continue to hold up Rob Carl, and Kyle Mundell now coming back up into the fray, currently sitting in 6th position. He's got a lot of ground to make up, and this is the time to do it. Fresh tires is something Kyle Mundell absolutely loves. We're able to see it every time after a pit stop in just about every race. Able to capitalize a lot, so he's got to make sure he makes up that time now. We're going to head through your field just a little bit to see some of our paint schemes here tonight. Just look back at some of our drivers. Matt Stewart currently sitting in as a sub-driver for Paul Ems in the number 28 Valvoline. Freddie Ann going to be sitting in 9th. Sergeant to Cheese, number 81. Tyler Hallahan sitting with the Hugger 88 for BTT. Wes Gallo with the Weeg Designs 07. Michael Sparks sitting in 12th, a good position for him as of now, able to really fight for these positions. Brand new paint scheme for him, I don't believe you've seen before, the 42. Snyder on the bottom in his HKS Toyota, trying to put the pressure as much as possible. Good battle for these guys for 12th. Looks like it might really be a race for Sparks here. Lapierre takes 14th, and it's going to be Will Cloud in the 48 behind. And then Matt Malavanya and Ashton Reiki bringing up the rear of your field. Hopping back up to the front, I've been able to see some changes on the ticker there, so it looks like some good racing has been starting to form up for your lead. Belk continues to lead, though, and Drake is putting the pressure onto the 39. Side by side, the teammates go across the line. Fiedler takes the lead. This is going to be some more of that blocking action we saw before with Jeffrey Belk holding up the competition to make sure. I think it is a slide up there on the 55 to the 41 of Richard Drake, but it doesn't matter. Richard Drake fighting for second is now Brandon Fiedler takes away the lead as he continues to try to run away as fast as he can. 3 wide there for a moment we saw in turn number 3. Stephen Black beginning to cut through now. He's on the bottom. Carl Mandel beginning to close up as well. Black and Carl there loose off of turn number 2. Belk still able to hold up for P3 now as we're seeing Richard Drake try to his best to close up to the leader there of Brandon Fiedler. It's going to be a close one between these two. Who can manage their tires better? A Toyota 1-2-3 nonetheless. Still a fair amount of time left in this race. Plenty of time, of course, for me to have to thank our sponsor of today, Paul Ems. Brings us our Short Track Fanatic 105. If you want to join the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series and find out more, if you want to sponsor more races, of course, too, you can check out the website at cascar.net. Got to give a huge thank you, of course, to our sponsor of the series. That is going to be Shorter Plumbing. They're a family-run company that has been in business for over 50 years in the southeastern Wisconsin area. They specialize in residential new construction and remodeling plumbing services. They also work with several local builders. And those, can Belk save it? That's the question. I'm sorry to cut off the sponsorship. I have to. Looks like while he did save it, the caution flew nonetheless. We'll come back to that in a moment, and we'll be right back. A side-by-side battle in the works here. We've been able to see Belk on the outside of Carl, trying to hold him up the best he's been able to. You can see skimming the wall there for the 55. Comes down just a hair. Oh, basically just takes himself off of the 2. Sliding through the infield there. You can see just how close he was. Still kind of surprised that the yellow flew for that, but he did also rejoin onto the racing surface at a much greater speed differential. But nobody got hurt in that incident, thankfully. They were able to stay away. Back up to real time now. Brandon Fiedler is going to continue to lead, as it looks like a few drivers have decided to pit, notably Richard Drake. I think he might have a spare tire set he is hoping to use to get himself up to the leaders. Belk still sitting in 3rd, Carl in 4th as well. They might not be receiving penalties, or who knows, they might. I don't know. Still, very close racing we've had here tonight at the Short Track Fanatic 105. Come on. There we go. I'm going to blame the tiredness off of the race last night. going to put Stephen Black starting in second, though, regardless. That is going to be a tough battle for them to handle, as both of those guys are very, very quick. So, if you have, of course, someone you want me to bring up to interview, please let me know. And in the meantime, I guess we'll grab Stephen Black and see what he has to say. Steven's open the booth. Do you read me?
I got you.
Currently sitting in second place. You've had quite the race here tonight, already recovering back up to the front several times.
Yeah, this car is really bad here. It's really tight, so I'm just trying to survive right now at this point.
Makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, that is a intense strategy to have to take. You know, it sucks that it has to get that bad, but, I mean, aside from it just being real tight, what makes it so bad here?
It's impossible to pass. The high line is really overpowered coming out of 4, and if you get caught on the bottom, you're falling back 3 or 4 spots. So it's hard to time passes, and you just have to hope people make mistakes in front of you.
It's interesting as I'd almost have to disagree with you, as the booth has seen a very different kind of race folding out, but regardless, you've been able to do a pretty good job of it so far. Aside from just surviving, do you have any plans to keep on going?
Yeah, just hopefully Brandon will make a mistake, and I'm in the right spot if I'm in second, and the leader makes a mistake, and I take an opportunity to jump on it. It's kind of what I'm hoping for here.
Alrighty. Well, thank you much for your time, Steven. I certainly do appreciate it. Who do you have to thank for your race car here tonight?
Premier Racing Setups, you for broadcasting the race, Greg, Sylvan, everyone at CASCAR, and everyone watching.
All right. Once again, thank you much for your time, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Number 98 of Stephen Black. Thank you for the recommendation to bring up Richard Drake. However, he does not stay in the Discord chat, so I'm not able to grab him. So I am sorry, he is one of the few we have to reject. But hey, if you have the opportunity to speak to him yourself and you want to make sure you tell him to stay in those chats so that he gets brought up for these interviews, you should. I'm sure he definitely does have some interesting commentary at times. Especially he's been able to have a very interesting race so far, currently sitting down in 12th. He's got a ways to go to get back up to the front. All right, Brandon Fiedler is going to be leading this race to the green flag. Chooses to stay on the outside. Jeffrey Belk going to be starting in third as a teammate to help him out, with Rob Carl going to be alongside in fourth. Those two just had an incident together, but I imagine they probably don't have too many hard feelings with each other. Can't be said for the rest of the radio, though. I do have a feeling that there's probably some harsh words being spoken to a few right now. The season has been a long one, and, well, it's a short track. You always got to have some interesting drama playing out. But with that, though, it's going to be Brandon Fiedler taking away the green flag. Good start for Fiedler as he stays on the outside. Ooh, very close between himself and Black as they fight side by side off of turn number 2. Good run for Black. Whoa, falling for Jeffrey Belk. He's going to be losing a lot of positions there on the bottom for Steven. Slams on the brakes. That's going to be a position now. If he can hold on to it, very close for filing back in for Stephen Black. A very close race we're going to be continuing to see develop here at Iowa now, as we see Fiedler continuing to lead as Stephen Black comes down to the bottom. Try to take away the position. He's still got the run to do so. But as Steven said, that outside line on 4 is strong, and not strong on the bottom for Stephen Black there, who has to file back up as he just didn't have the speed he needed. We see Rob Carl beginning to close in as well, sitting now in third. Can he close in a lot and make a good run for the Final Four? That will be the question we have to answer here tonight, is not everybody can get into the Final Four. Jeffrey Belk is already locked in. We're looking at 3 positions. Brandon Fiedler currently is the one getting in, with Rob Carl and Richard Drake being the next, I suspect. But it will be a close one as Brian Fratien does have a lot of points, so he does need to finish pretty well tonight. Battle for 4th right now going on between Now several drivers there as Richard Drake comes in on the bottom. If there's anybody that's able to work a weird line other than Stephen Black, it is Richard Drake. Bit of rear end damage there as he files back up to take the position away. That's fourth to Richard Drake. Still riding that bottom line, trying to come up to Rob Carl, who's putting a lot of pressure on Stephen Black for second. He wants that position. He needs to get into the final four. Rob Carl has had a lot of interesting luck this season, we'll put it that way. He's had some real lucky breaks and several unlucky ones. Knocked out of several races, putting him in a very tough spot. But if he can get all the way into the finish, that's exactly what he's going to want to have happen. Richard Drake now on the bottom, putting the pressure onto Carl. Can he get the position ahead of Black? It's going to be a close one. All right, that's Drake now up into third. Good run, though, off of 2 is going to allow Carl to get the position back, though. Let's go bring up some driver information here on Richard Drake. You can see his I rating there. 3K. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. These guys have a very good I rating. A lot of speed built up in this entire field here tonight. Coming down the bottom. Look at the speed difference between that tire management. Wow. Richard Drake having a lot of experience on these short tracks clearly shows. Let's go bring up your battle forecast. Pierce Graphics forecast say in 3 laps it is going to be Richard Drake taking away the position from Stephen Black. And it looks like it might be a little bit wrong, as that's going to be Richard Drake taking away the position from Stephen Black now. Throwing a block up to the high side, making sure that Black can't get it quickly. And now it is a race to the finish between Drake and Fiedler. Several laps to go. This will not be a short one for these guys. While this race may have gone on quickly for us, I can only imagine for your drivers, it must just keep going on, as there's a lot of action happening all the time here at these short tracks. Let's go and head on to the in-car view right now of Brian Fradian, currently sitting in 5th position. Let's see what he sees, so it's like here at Iowa. Start to see Drake making a move there onto the 39. You can see it right there in the front. You can see that banking 10 degrees on the front stretch, and then it is 12 to 14 in the turns. 6 in the back stretch, if I remember correctly. When Steven was saying that high side is just that little bit overpowered, it is the difference in banking. Here at the bottom, this is where the 12-degree banking is, and at the top it is 14. A lot of closing in there for Fradian. Now we'll follow along with just this lap before we head right outside once again. You can see the struggle it is to keep these cars rolling straight. It is a real challenge. Good run there out of Fradian, closing back in. Richard Drake still sits up at the front. He's got a commanding view of this race as Greg Snellgrove has been able to get himself up into second. Stephen Black struggling heavily on tire wear right now. Ooh, throwing a block there. That's going to be the 39. Almost comes down onto his teammate. These two are not going to be making it easy for each other at all. Which is interesting because Stephen Black is actually not in the playoffs at all. Regardless, though, out to the high side, and I think that is a lot of tire disintegration there for Brandon Fiedler, who continues to fall back, as now Brian Fradian, your original points leader, tries to close in as they continue to fight to the end. Richard Drake has the lead over Greg Snellgrove, who I think is going to be now the car that you're not expecting to come in and take it away. It's the 22 of Snellgrove now. He's got a good run. All he needs to do is finish up this race strong, and he will be in. But a win is basically what he wants. He's gone winless this season, and I think last season too. A tough break for the 22 team. Got a lot of ground to make up. Richard Drake, though, already with 2 wins this season, if I remember correctly. Has had a interesting run, and he's now hoping to close it into the Final Four and secure himself the season championship. If he can get a good finish this race and put himself into the Final Four and then win next, he'll finally have that trophy to claim as his. Fredian now sitting in 3rd. As Fiedler now is in 5th. Still a close one, though, as Carl also wants the position. And that's now Fiedler down in 6th. Richard Drake, though, absolutely in a great shape here tonight. It looks like these short tracks really have benefited him in the past. We've seen it before, and I believe we'll see it again. 19 to go, 18 across the line. You're here with the Short Track Fanatic 105. Well, I know I got interrupted last time, so let's see if it happens again. Got to, of course, give a huge thank you to Shorter Plumbing, a family-run company that's been in business for over 50 years in the southeastern Wisconsin area. They specialize in residential new construction and remodeling plumbing services. They also work with several local builders who will work with individuals hoping to build their dream home or do their own remodeling. You give them a call. Their office number 262-971-0401. That number, once again, is 262-971-0401. Shorter Plumbing. They've been our gracious sponsor of the Cup Series and the playoffs. So, of course, got to give them their due diligence. And, of course, thank you to Pierce Graphics, who puts together our fantastic overlay packages. You can find out more about them through my website. That is going to be fourcloak.net. Some information here on Greg Snellgrove. 1,800 KI rating. As they begin to close into their next lapped car. That is Michael Sparks, currently sitting down in 15th. We have seen Greg Snellgrove be, I was going to say close in over these last couple laps, but that has all the progress just completely out the window with that incident. Absolutely just lost it there off of 4, trying to avoid Sparks, I believe, as well. Not going to be helping him at all. However, there has been a constant gain from Brian Fredian to Snellgrove in front. Let's see what our battle forecast has to say about that. Nothing. Okay, cool. Might be interfered a little bit with Sparks there. We'll wait for him to get out of the way. We'll try it again. Nope. Okay, we're just not going to get any information on that here tonight. Not sure what's up with that. Richard Drake almost extends his lead to a full second. You can see just the visual gap there across the line. Absolutely impressive. Shocks me that he's able to do it. Alright, let's try one more time. Huh. Wish I could tell you folks why it's doing that, but I cannot. Should not be any reason for that. But Greg Snellgrove, though, is able to maintain his second-place finish. I think we're going to be getting a fantastic final... Whoa. Fantastic Final Four as Jeffrey Belk is wrecked. And we'll come back and see what happened. Good timing for everybody that just joined in, I guess, as we're going to be getting our yellow and see what happened with that incident. That was not pretty. Wow. So... thank you, everybody that has tuned in, and bear with me for just a moment. All right, we're going to rejoin in now. Let's go and see what's going on here with Jeffrey Belk here. So we go down into turn number 1. This was a long wreck in the making, from what I understand. He's got Billy Stratus, otherwise known as Will Cloud. Alright, there we go. Looks like he gets through 1 fine, just loses it coming out of 2. Able to save it. At least I thought. Starts to lose it once again, going down the backstretch. Completely loses it. So trying to drift the turn. Slides way up the track. Oh, heavily into the wall. Will Cloud gets right into him. Will comes down, almost collects Malavanya. Good wreck avoidance there out of Matt Malavanya. And that is Jeffrey Bilk stopped up on the top of the track. Just completely done for. Unfortunate for the 55 team. Thankfully, they're already set up into the playoffs. Ooh, close there with Matt Stewart as well in the 28. Yikes. Unfortunate, but hopefully that won't be a too big a deal for them. We'll be right back and see where everybody has ended up. A fast repair taken for the 55 team. It'll be way down. And it is going to be a very short shootout between your leader, Richard Drake, Greg Snellgrove, and just about everybody else behind. Can this be a dark horse moment for Kyle Mundell? And come back up towards the top. Well, let's go and grab Brian Fradian. He's the closest driver I have up towards the top that I can grab. He's already interviewed Greg, so let's see what he has to say. Just give me a second, getting a bit of an issue here. Brian's open the booth. Do you read me?
Hello?
There we go. Currently sitting in 4th position. You've had a very interesting race here tonight. What are your thoughts so far?
Right now it's doing everything possible to make sure that Brandon can get in the next round. So I gotta get in front of both Greg and Drake, and hopefully, because he needs to make up the 7-point gap at the beginning of the race. So just trying to play the team role.
Okay. I mean, I know you're close to getting into the Final Four, currently leading in the points.
Yeah, mathematically, it's really unlikely that I can get eliminated. I just have to make sure that I finish relatively decently today. So right now, the big thing is just trying to get Brandon to go through.
Understood. What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge of that, other than just getting around Snellgrove and Drake?
I think the fact that I was able to save an extra set of tires in the first half is going to make a big difference. Because they're on 30 lap tires, and there's a big enough difference for this short of a distance to make up. So feeling pretty good about getting in front of them. It's more so, if Black wins the race, that's good. If Rob wins the race, that's not good. So if Brandon wins the race, that's great. It's kind of like that.
I see. Okay, so you got a real big team role you got to fill right now, as you said.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, with that, I'll let you get back to your planning and what you need to do next. So who do you have to thank for your car here tonight?
I just want to thank EG, Victos, my family, the guys on the team. It just means a lot.
All right. Well, good luck, Brian, and thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
Brian Fradian, driver the number 81 Victos Toyota Camry. Currently with Sargento Cheese on it here tonight. And Richard Drake is going to be the driver taking away the green flag before we go back green. It's going to be a 6-lap dash to the finish, provided we don't have more yellows. Brandon Fiedler currently starting down in 8th position. It's going to be a tough one for Brian Fradian, who's starting in 7th for Brandon Fiedler. Irishman.com pace car pulls down the front stretch, and it's going to be Richard Drake, as I said before, taking away the green flag. Chaos off of turn number 4. 3 wide racing already. Brand Fradian straight to the lead. Collision between Black and Hallahan. Malavanya involved. Yellow flies. Huge incident there. We'll be right back and get a closer look on how that happened. That was a fast one. taking a look here, we can see your drivers now, along with Hallahan and Black. We see Tyler Hallahan trying to come up there, but it looks like he way overshoots the turn. Doesn't know that Steven is there. Sends them both around. Not good news there for a friend of the channel, Matt Malavania there, who gets collected. Just barely avoids Hallahan, but cannot avoid Steven Black. Those two collide, and that is not good news, as they have to recover from that one. Steven Black sent to the rear. Have a feeling that Brian Fradian's plan to get his teammate Brandon Fiedler up to the front is only half working out, as he said that a plan with Steven Black winning was not bad. So, some very close racing we're going to be seeing for sure here in these next few laps. Okay, let's go and grab somebody we have not spoken to yet here tonight. A person that's done very well and has been having a very interesting race so far. Let's go and grab Rob Carl. Rob, is up with you. Read me. There we go. All right. Currently sitting in third position. You've had quite the race here tonight. Tell me about it. Say that? Okay, I can only imagine. I know that during your qualifying, you said that your heart was racing. It's going to be a close one for the points here tonight, isn't it? Makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, I know that you're known as one of the short track guys. You and Drake have had a constant battle basically all day. You guys can't seem to lose each other.
Short tracks are typically my stronger suit. This one hasn't been as good as I would like for today. Richmond was awesome. This is kind of we were talking about earlier, a little bit like Richmond. Thought I was going to be running a little bit better, but see what happens here in the last couple laps.
Okay. Well, we've certainly got a good race ahead of us, so I want to thank you for coming up here and giving me your time. Who do you think for your car here tonight?
Greg says we have to thank Paul, so shout out to Paul.
All right. Thank you once again for your time, and good luck.
Thank you.
Number 2, Rob Carl. Going to be doing what he can to put on a good show here tonight. He's got Kyle Medell on the outside, Brandon Fiedler behind, Billy Stratus, good old Will Cloud, up into 6th position. Let's go and bring up your standings there. Looks like the lights on the pace are going to be on for another lap. Everybody forming up to 2, though. Wes Gallo back up into the top 10. It is a close one on points, folks. That is for sure. If you got your predictions on who is going to be getting into the Final Four, please do so. Love to see what everybody's thoughts are. Gotta give, of course, our thank you to Schroeder Plumbing, Pierce Graphics, and to Paul Ems, who gives us tonight's race. Brian Fradian is going to be your driver on the front. 2 wins so far for Brian Fradian, if I remember correctly. I believe he did not get a 3rd. Richard Drake also with 2. Nope, only with 1, actually. And your final driver, absolutely in the top 4 in terms of points, is Greg Snowgrove with 0 wins. Brandon Fiedler did get a win, and Rob got 2. Currently, the driver with the most amount of wins this season goes to Brady Floyd, who did not make it here tonight. Only been racing part-time this season, and decided that he wanted to really do a good job, and got 4 wins. Steven Black, also racing part-time, got 2. But with that, though, the lights on the pace car are off, and we're going to be going through 3 and 4 now. So the Irons.com Motorsport Simulations pace car is going to pull down pit lane. And Brian Fradian, driver of the 81 Victos Toyota Camry for Equipment Geek Racing, will be taking the green flag. Good start there out of the 39. Absolutely just gone already. Uh-oh. I hear collisions behind, but it looks like everybody's okay. I say that, uh-oh. Snyder's around. Oh, he's really around. No yellow has flown yet. No yellow at all? Okay. Cool. Brian Fredian out front. Rob Carl in second. Kyle Mundell in third. White flag flies. It is going to be Jeffrey Belk behind, closing into Mundell. Taps the rear bumper. Doesn't send him around, though. Will Cloud now in 6th. Can he get around to get a top 10? Brandon Fiedler in 7th. It's going to be a tight one for a lot of these guys as they're side-by-side coming off a turn number 4. And Rob Carl in the number 2 is going to win here for the Short Track Fanatic 105 at Iowa. What a last lap pass. Absolutely beautiful performance out of Rob Carl. Very impressive. Fradian takes 2nd position, Drake 3rd, and Fiedler somehow manages to score himself a 4th. It will be a close one for the point standings. We're in for a good one here tonight, boys. See how that is going to turn out. So, thank you everybody that has come in to watch as Rob does his celebrating. Very, very rewarded nonetheless. All right. We'll have to grab Richard Drake when he gets here. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and grab your 2nd place finisher of Brian Fredian. Once again, a great performance there from Rob Carl. He'll definitely be taking those winner pictures. Brian, so the booth. Do you read me?
Yeah, I read you.
2nd place finish for you. How does it feel?
It's a little frustrating to lose it like that, especially to Rob. Rob is he's a great driver. So me trying to hold on to that was kind of going to be an uphill battle anyways. But it's just frustrating to not be able to get Brandon through.
Is it that close on points?
Well, he automatically qualifies, and then Drake finished in front of him. So,
yep.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I'll probably be the first driver out, which is unfortunate, but I did everything that I could. Everything that I could that I consciously would have been okay with. I could have dumped him, but I'm not going to do that. That's not my MO.
What you could do to sleep at night?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so it's just a little frustrating to have 3 straight weeks of 2nd places. But if we can continue that form into the next week, I'll be feeling pretty good.
Makes a lot of sense to me. You've had a great race here tonight. Please tell me all about your thoughts other than, the team. I mean, this is our first time running Iowa here.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy this track. I had an unfortunate audio problem at the very beginning of the race that made me miss the start. So finishing the top 3, having to essentially start 2nd to last was pretty good. Yeah, it just stings. It'd be so close to a win, but it'll come. And if it comes next week, it's going to be a championship.
Makes a lot of sense to me. You've had a pretty good season so far. You got yourself finally into the Final Four. A great forum we're going to have next week at Las Vegas.
Yep.
Who do you
Looking
think for the
forward to it
tonight?
Victos, EGR, all the guys on the team, all of my family members on both sides. I'm praying for you, Nana. I'm praying for Aunt Deborah. So, yeah, just family, friends, means a lot.
All right, thank you much for your time once again, Brian, and congratulations on the 2nd place finish.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go bring up your 3rd place finisher, Rational Richard Drake. Richard, Snow of the booth. Do you read me?
I read you loud and clear, Noah. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, but you must be doing pretty good yourself, as you've been able to get yourself a third-place finish here at Iowa. Short track, one of the things you're pretty good at.
Yeah, I love short tracks. Really fun track. It's got a lot of character to it. There's bumps on the bottom, and I just adore the fact that you can run the top pretty easily here. It's a really fast line, so really awesome track. Really enjoyed the combo, and we took a gamble on tires. It should be pretty obvious, but to be able to still pull off a third on like 40-something lap old tires, I was really delighted with that.
Makes a lot of sense to me. What an intense last lap at that, too. I mean, a lot of chaos happened the entire last few laps, honestly.
Absolutely. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it work, but I just determined to keep the top at all costs and force people to pass me on the bottom, and on corner exit, that worked out for me.
Yeah, it definitely did work out in your favor. What are your overall thoughts on short tracks like this here in the CASCAR Short Diplomat Cup Series?
Oh, I love them. I'd love to see more of them. They're definitely my favorite. I mean, I come from a mini stock background where we run at a 0.3 track locally in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and most of the stuff I do on iRacing outside of CASCAR is late model and super late model stuff. And so I really love CASCAR for the opportunity to try the Cup cars. It's cool and keeps me sharp on the other tracks. But this still feels like a big track to me, despite it being short to everybody else, because I'm used to little half miles or under. But definitely a blast.
All right. Well, thank you much for your time, Richard. I certainly do appreciate who you have to thank for being on the car here tonight.
Thanks a lot. I got to thank Kinetic Racing, my team as always, Laker News, Pat Healy. I understand Paul sponsored this race, so big thanks to Paul for that, and thanks to Greg, of course, for running the league. And lastly, I got to give a big shout out to my buddy Connor, who was watching the stream. Thanks a lot for your support, man. It means a lot.
All right. Thank you much again for your time, Richard. I certainly do appreciate it, and congratulations on the third place finish.
Have a good night, Noah.
Number 41, Richard Drake, finishes in third place. Great for him. A great race overall. Let's go ahead and bring up your race winner, Big Bob Carl. Rob, open the booth. Do you read me?
Hey, Noah, how's it going?
Well, we talked earlier. I knew you were nervous, but it looks like it paid off as you're able to get yourself the race win here at the Short Track Fanatic 105.
Yeah, nervous was an understatement. That was a crazy last lap there, and it was the right place at the right time, and really just sent it home.
I mean, that pass, you're going to have to tell me how you managed to do it. Absolutely incredible the way you were just able to do that overtake suddenly last second.
I don't know. You know, I did a lot of practice here. I had good speed in practice all week. Got caught up in a few different things today. I had quite a few incident points. I think I was at like 16 or something. So I knew I could do it. It was just a matter of getting the chance to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you had a great qualifying time. I mean, the amount of performance that a lot of you did today and just everybody was great to see. What do you think, you're going to see in these next few races, especially now that you're locked into the Final Four?
It's going to be very competitive. I mean, everybody's a good driver. Everyone's fast. Everyone's fast tonight. The competition is it's going to be good.
Absolutely, it will be. Who do you have to, before we get to that, what are your thoughts on Iowa in general?
I like Iowa. Like I said, I like short track racing. It's a fun track.
Makes a lot of sense to me, and it really did show with your performance here tonight. So who do you have to thank for being on the car here tonight?
The biggest person I got to thank is my wife. We're having a kid this week, and she still lets me do what I like and be on iRacing and commit time here. So I got to give a big special thank you to her.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Definitely worthy of the shout out in that case. So my last question for you before I let you go is, how are you going to celebrate this race win?
I'm going to prepare myself for the next couple days at work, and then celebrate by bringing in my baby boy this week.
All right. Well, congratulations on the child, and congratulations on the race win here tonight, Rob, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Noah.
Rob Carl able to secure himself the race win. Congratulations to the win for him. Man, great race we had here at Iowa. Got to give a huge thank you, of course, to Paul, as everybody said. Greg working his way through, of course, with everybody, making everybody give him a shout-out with Paul, of course. Hopefully we'll get to see him next week at Las Vegas, where we're going to be rounding out our season championship at the 1.5 mile there. It's going to be an intense one, I will put it that way. A lot of stuff on the line for these guys. I'm excited to see it, that is for sure. So thank you to everybody that hosts this league, Greg, and just about everybody else in the administration team. And of course, got to give our huge thank you to Shorter Plumbing, sponsor of the entire CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series and the playoffs as well. Shorter Plumbing is a family-run company that has been in business for over 50 years in the southeastern Wisconsin area that specialize in residential new construction and remodeling plumbing services. They will also work with local builders hoping to help you build your dream home or do their own remodeling. And it is a great service at that. You got to know that if they've been in business for over 50 years. So you can give them a call today at their office number, 262-971-0401. That number, once again, is 262-971-0401. Schroeder Plumbing. And, of course, got to give a huge thank you to our overlay package creator, Pierce Graphics, who puts together a lot of the great stuff you see each and every week here on the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. You can find out more about them through my website. That is forcloak.net. If you want to find out more about CASCAR and sponsor your own races, that is cascar.net. All the other links and stuff to get to the league pages and such will be available either in the description or my website as well. So don't be afraid to check those out and get in contact with these guys. And we'll see you all next time at Las Vegas. So thank you much once again for joining in, and we'll see you next time for the season finale.